Okay, so we're gonna focus on meter management for this video. So, as far as meter management goes, first I want to talk about the cross gauge because I see this misused like a lot. So, in most situations, I see you guys extend your combos for essentially no reason. Like y'all do like short combos and mid to assist. Like for someone like me who's constantly watching out for mistakes and things, extending your combos when I have burst available or versus if I'm gaining it back, you have to really think about your cash out and the timing that you're getting between it. Like, there is a thing as a bad cash out in this game, and I constantly see this a lot. I'll see like silly little short combos. Let me take that first, like stuff like that. It's like once you do something like that, you blocked out you literally took away all of your pressure. Like once you've done something like that, you have no pressure at all. Because one, you no longer have the ability to punish your opponent for bursting. If they have full bar and you do something like that, they're getting out for free, and there's not a thing you can do about it. That also puts you at a negative situation for them to create their own pressure. You don't want to be in, you really don't want to be in those situations where you have to be the one guessing. You don't want to do that. So as far as combo structure when it comes to using your meter, you really have to think about what your opponent has versus what you have. Like combos like that don't get you value because you lose. But I can just show you. You'll lose out on pressure because it allows your opponent to use their push block. You don't want your opponent to use their push block. And you also don't want to have to guess on your own offense either. Like if you're guessing on your own offense, like you mess it up. Like I'm a safe player, but you always want to be creating a constant threat in front of your opponent. You want to force them to push block, to waste their meter, to bait out their push block to get the DP to get punishes. Creating a constant mind game. Do I want to use my meter here? Where can I use my meter here? You just want them to constantly be thinking on their toes. That way you can create layers of pressure. Like sometimes you might do an empty jump low, or sometimes you might be doing IEDs for the delayed overheads, little situations like that. Here, active switching, which I'll cover later. I'm not even gonna bother with doing that right now. So you just really have to think of it as, can they burst? Can they get out of this? That's what you want to use cross for. Besides cross combos, making combos like this safe off spacing. Applying more pressure, just holding them there, because your opponent's gonna get antsy after a while. They don't want to sit there and have to guess, and then they end up dead because they're, losing health constantly. Little situations like that. But the most key point of this is keeping your meter for your opponent's bursts. Like, you can get so much value off just doing a singular or short combo. Doing something like this. Like, I get pressure off that. I get free safe jump. Well, it's more valuable in the corners since I don't have a bullet or anything with Merkaba. As far as go, I would just have to go. That's one of its primary uses. But as far as using it for the assist versus, just punishing burst with your assist, that's one of the more common ones. Everybody knows how to do it, but it's still important to know. You want to do something like that, because you'll get, when you extend the combo right there, you can still get the layered offense, but if you do it like earlier,
gotcha.
Whoops. If you're gonna extend it to a knockdown or something, like I don't have the option to layer my pressure anymore because my opponent's already recovered. You have to be able to do certain extensions, if you want to be able to also use your meter again. That's why sometimes if I do that, I'll probably do something like that. You essentially want to extend your combos long enough to get a knockdown into your assist, because your assist needs to get off screen. Like if you're extending combos and then ending them or dropping them, you lose your pressure. You can't do anything. That's why I don't like too long extensions. Like there's no point in hard cashing out for situations that you can't get value out of. And I do see all this without thinking. See, there was literally no point in doing that. I already had a solo knockdown. Oh. Like, look at that. It does 4.9. And now we're gonna do a cash out. We're losing pressure, and we're also losing value. It's like, I don't get a knockdown. I'd have to do a shorter combo. And I also don't get any value. I might get a safe jump, but then I allow my opponent to get out. You could, there are ways around this where you can just back off and if you want to do something like that. But you know, being in their face gives you more power because now they have to think about grabs, overhead, empty loads, you know, little situations like that that you just normally wouldn't get if you do stuff like that. Like when you're thinking about extending your combos versus getting value out of your combos, like I'll always do something short if I can make them get it. Look at the outside. So right here, they can't push block. Like if they push block, Narcomic still stays there, and I still get value. I can still do an overhead. I can still do empty low. I get like so many mix-ups just making it right here. Like it's kind of like 6.1. I get a safe. I get everything. You want to constantly put yourself in the mindset to where what can I get off this combo with my meter versus how much damage. Like damage and value can be two different things. Because a mix-up is essentially another reset. You're getting more damage regardless, and your opponent's not getting like they still have to guess. Like if I get a straight hit right there, I still have my cross combo available. And since I have that available, I can just use my assist to continue the pressure, do it again, and just keep losing. Versus, you know, just cashing out once and then losing out on all my pressure. And what's that? I might lose because a straight button, or I got hit by a random Susano 5B when I could have just kept them in the corner, forced them to, you know, just exposing their defense. Like I've kept so many people mashing on safe jumps, but they don't know what a safe jump is, and they don't know how to respect layered pressure. Like layered pressure in this game, very important. That also has to do with meter management, because that limits the amount of options that your opponent actually has that they can make. Like that's what's really important about using your own meter in offense versus how much they have. Like if I do something like that. So I can use action switch to get back in. But you know, no one's gonna essentially reflect like that. That's just a computer. But I'll constantly say it. Look at how much meter he had to use. He had to use like 2 bars just to get me out, and I'm still in. He gets hit. He can no longer push blocking out. Now he's forced to use his burst. So if he's using his burst, I still have my meter. I'm gonna use short combo because I understand he's gonna want to get out of this. He's not gonna want to block.
You ready?
And if he gets that other character in, I want to knock down on him to force him into an even worse situation. Like you constantly have to think about you know, the little things like that when you go for combo extensions with your meter versus keeping it to lock your opponent down. Like I just want to get y'all out of the mindset of just extending your combos to do, you know, just do cool combos. Like it's fun to do them and everything, but if they don't have value at the end of them, Why'd you do it?
Creature.
What did you just waste your cross gauge for? Why'd you just waste your meter? You can't lock me down or do anything to me. It's like I don't have to respect you. It's like if you do a combo extension and you just locked out your assist just to, you know, do a little bit more damage than what your combo was gonna do, I'm just gonna push block. I'm just gonna burn. Like I no longer have a reason to respect you. Like you can hard call me out, but that still doesn't mean I have reversal options to deal with it. You can IND back in. What if I react? I can beat you in the situation. Like you don't want to give me. Like I just want to constantly be that you don't want your opponent to be able to easily get out of what you're doing. You never want to do that if you get them into the corner. Now you see, you could get away with making mistakes like this if you're in, you know, the neutral, because they still have to recover. They might forward tech recover. They might back tech recover. You're really not getting those options in the corner. At least not against me. I have all my situations are created to deal with stuff like that. But you know, just constantly want to apply pressure versus getting damage in situations. If you can kill them, kill them. Always remember that. If you have the meter to kill somebody, dump it. Just get rid of it. You'll get more. I swear. Don't be selfish with your meter when it comes to getting rid of an opponent. If you can, do it. There's no, I need to save the meter here. Dump it. Especially if they're getting their burst back, dump it. Lock them out with super. You don't want your opponent being able to switch back out and use what you can do. What 2v1 will always be better than 2v2. But you know what I mean. Use your resources as proactively as possible. Like you can constantly use it to keep them in. Just keep thinking of applying pressure and always think about dealing with your opponents first. I'm not sure if I went too much on that, so I just wanted to do a short little thing. So you just always remember to keep your cross gauge live. Just always keep it live if you're putting on offense to them and they want to burst. Always need this to deal with their burst options. Because a lot of cross combo can be used to set up sandwich if you punish, which is also a really very important creature. Like you just always want to have it available. Solo combos will always be stronger than combo extensions. Like I already ranted about that. So make sure you have your characters have strong solo combo potential. Like make sure you always have solo combos available. Really decent. They're very important, especially for offense. Well, of course, offense, but you know. You just always want to have these things available to you so that you can shut down your opponent. That's the mindset that'll help you develop your pressure along the way. When you start to actually mess with your cross combo pressure, like I explained that, but that needs something. That needs a small entry on its own, because then you have to worry about the layering and the negative edging your pressure. But that. Again, I'll talk about that later, but for the most part, I just want to point out, using your meter is always to keep your opponent guessing. Don't let them out. Always go for short combos, versus longer ones if they do have burst available and you don't have your assist available. That's very important. Always remember that. And, you know, just keep in mind on how much meter they have, what they can do to push block you out, how much meter you have, and what you can use to constantly apply the pressure. Because remember, short combos will always win your game. It helps you build bad meter. Especially if you have long cinematics. Long cinematic supers can really help you regain that cross combo just to keep that pressure going off your safe jump. Very important. Even if you don't have the meter, it's always better, you know, you always get more value out of doing some type of layer pressure versus not doing some type of layer pressure at all. Like you're constantly always going to see high-level players using their assists to create threat and keeping their point character in so they continue to mix up or just act switching out. So again, that's something that I feel I'll touch on later. But remember, just keep everything that I discussed about this in mind as far as what you're thinking about when you're using your own meter, because I feel it's really important. Once you hit a certain level of tag, you can't just get away with just randomly hitting stuff and not knowing how to mix your opponent, because once they learn how to block, you hit. That just doing mids all day and relying on one singular character to do your like that's not gonna work. You're really going to need to know how to focus your own meter and what you can do to deny them theirs. Like it gets less complicated the more you put into practice, but it's very important. Just always keep that stuff in mind.